Those people that got dragged down to the Trump parade, that will be with them for a long time. That will be with, because they will never trust those friends again. They will never trust. Huh? No. No, I'm not. No, I'm not doing that with you again. Back in 2025, you dragged me all. You had me take off work, take some of my vacation days, and you know I got little kids, okay? I can't play with that. They get sick. I got no vacation days because I was down in DC with you, rolling around in a field all by myself, watching a military tank cry for its freedom. Hey, shout out to all of the subscribers and members here on the channel. Don't forget to like the video. I am Reese Waters, and this is Street Politics. Hey, Fox News. This you?
Thank you very much, everybody, and thank you to Vice President Vance, and thank you to our wonderful First Lady, and above all, thank you very much, everybody, and thank you to Vice President Vance.
What you think, y'all, the Seattle Seahawks? You just gonna pump in fake crowd noise? Like, I'm surprised y'all just weren't using clappers in the control room. That, you know what? That's what it was. That's what it was. It wasn't that. We didn't pump in that. Those were the people that were clapping in the control room, and then it bled into, you know what I mean? Because you know, sometimes the video can take on the spirit of the people that are editing the video. They wasn't even slick with it. Notice how quickly it died down. Like it. Notice how quickly it died down. Like, if it wasn't anybody conducting an orchestra of people cheering, I ain't never seen no cheers die down like that, except if by button. You know what I mean? You outed yourselves. I don't understand why you would. You need to go to a higher quality of deepfake. You know, AI has really made advances out here. You don't have to be out here with this old technology. I would expect it better than that. Not to mention the fact that they ignore that we have a litany of videos all around the internet showing that there were not enough people that were present at Trump's parade to wake me up from a deep sleep in my own home. Like, if they were downstairs in my living room, they wouldn't wake me up if I was sleeping downstairs in my living room. We already have the footage. You know what? I think I recognize those cheers. Those are cheers from the No Kings parade. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they used No Kings crowd audio for the Trump parade. That's what it looks like to me.
California and across the country, what we're seeing here is an attack on our Constitution. And I swore on a Bible to make sure that I will protect the Constitution of the United States.
Okay, fair enough. That's fair enough. I will withdraw my criticism of the engineer who was in charge of this fakery. Clearly, that took a lot of work and effort to take the audio from the No Kings and not at least have one person yelling slurs directed at Trump. That must have taken hours, if we're being honest. But Fox News, as far as you do not escape slander as an organization. Because I done already showed the level of your deception with how you characterized the protests in the first place.
You can see there's a protester squaring off with law enforcement right now. Can you see that? So there you have, okay, we're hearing the flashbangs. We're hearing the flashbangs right now. This is what we've been seeing night after night. These clashes, these some of these violent protesters squaring off with law enforcement.
And no sooner do we have the saddest party outside of an accident baby sprinkle. Here y'all go. From decoding Fox News, and it appears that Fox News tweaked the audio throughout the 250 Army parade. The first clip is from PBS, the second is from Fox News, and the Fox clip, the USA chant is noticeably louder.
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, to honor America.
Now, I don't know who that dude is that's standing over Trump's shoulder, the bald-headed dude, but he looked like he knew something was off. He said, this don't sound right. Nah, this don't sound organic at all. They got speakers on the stage? All right, because I'm looking at grass and hearing noise. This is unnatural for me to be standing up here with all these cheers from the concrete. This just don't feel right at all.
All right, guys, let's bring in Griff Jenkins now. So, Griff, we've been talking about the messaging, a lot of the symbolism that we've been seeing here tonight from this incredible parade. And part of it is the legacy that we stand on the shoulders of giants.
Apparently, you have to stand on the shoulders of giants to see the fireworks. Why y'all got fake fireworks? Why you got a fake fireworks graphic for an event that was supposed to have real fireworks? Why are we doing... I'm just supposed to let that go? Okay. I'm just supposed to let that go, apparently.
It's okay.
When we know this is what it really looked like. And by the way, y'all might want to holler at Rebecca Koffler. I don't know how much small talking y'all want to be doing right now. Y'all might want to check on her. Well, POTUS is apparently encroaching on my airtime. My hit is moved to 8:20 to 8:30, depending on how long Trump takes. I'm honored, refilling my champagne glass while waiting for my hit. Yeah, y'all got maybe a minute before that goes bad.
Right. So the legacy of all of those who have served before, but also the acknowledgement of the current technology. We were just talking about it with Brett, that much of it is unseen. So how important is this messaging and symbolism tonight by the Commander-in-Chief that he supports the U.S. Army for those new soldiers that might not be the ones playing with tanks anymore?
It's a great question, Emily. It's critical. Our future literally depends on it. And let me just say, I've had so much fun watching you guys doing such a great job covering this. And I've been touched, LJ, by your energy, because anyone that watched this tonight or that had the fortune of being there, if you didn't have goosebumps at various points of the night, then something's wrong with you.
Now, apparently, if you didn't have goosebumps while watching the Fox News coverage, then something is wrong with you. And that's one of the few things that I agree with that Fox News said in covering this, because when they did go to Rebecca Koffler, I got goosebumps.
Us now is former Defense Intel Agency officer Rebecca Koffler. Rebecca, what are your thoughts tonight on the incredible symbolism and the messaging that we saw here tonight from the Commander-in-Chief on the Army's 250th birthday?
I am so excited, Emily and Lucas Tomlinson. Everybody, this is incredible. Finally, the United States is back. I want to really thank all of our Army, Navy, and Air Force officers who have been sacrificing their lives. Literally, their families have been contributing to the mission. most of the time for the past quarter of a century because of the mismanagement of the administrative states. They've been fighting these foreign wars, but with our new commander-in-chief, Donald J. Trump, they are prioritizing America first. And I want to thank these officers for all of these sacrifices and all of the hardships that their families have been doing. Lawrence Jones, you are doing, you're rocking, man. Like you guys are incredible. Lucas,
thank you.
I want to thank.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. Thank you, and thank you for your service too.
I second that. I absolutely thank her for her service, and Black MAGA, Lawrence, Lucas, congratulations on that. The thing that made me mad, why y'all cut her off? That was the best part of the entire coverage. Huh? Judge Janine? Why's she mad? Oh, that was hers? Out the fridge? Well, she gotta put her name on it then. Everybody just assume it's Judge Janine's if it's in the fridge.
Because whatever was the cost of this tonight, it was worth every penny, not just for recruitment, but also to reinvigorate the patriotism and the love of our country and the sacrifices that have been made. You know, our democracy is the greatest experiment in freedom that the planet has ever known.
Now, apparently, the $45 million on the conservative side and over $100 million on the more aggressive side military parade was worth every penny. Can we get a look at what we got for that 45 million, 100 million, whatever you want to call it? Can we get a look?
Look, I think if this is a president who wanted to honor the military, he wouldn't be proposing 80,000 VA cuts. If this was a president who actually cared about the military, he wouldn't be freezing $2 billion worth of contracts or having a Secretary of Defense leaking attack plans on Signal. In contrast, we had people from Idaho to Ohio to Arkansas to Massachusetts stand up and say that this country, with due process being taken away, with children being separated from their mothers, is not something we stand for. People will not take this lying down, and this is just the beginning.
Now help me with this. How much were the No Kings protests? How much? Those were free too? Those were free? And it was people exercising their First Amendment rights? The whole democracy that he was talking about? And what did those look like?
Composed by Captain Robert Meredith Wilson.
And tonight was a display of how it was achieved and how it's been preserved. You know, guys, I wrote words down throughout the night, just things I was feeling. Patriotism, pride, heroism, sacrifice, service, hope, and gratitude. And the hope comes in because some of the moments that I think are the most lasting were the crowd shots of young boys, 5, 6 years old, on the shoulders of fathers wearing an Army military camouflage hat, holding up a patch of the American flag.
We gonna have to cut that. We don't have no crowd shots. Literally none of that. We don't got no crowd shots. In fact, if you freeze frame right where we are in this video is a shot of grass. This man talking about crowd shots. While we look at that grass, not to mention the fact, did you see how tight all of the clips were? You see how tight, you like, hey, I want the outer edges of that frame on that street. Okay, I don't want, no. When you see the ropes, that's it. We not showing this crowd at all. You know what would have helped y'all? Because I mentioned they got good technology, they got good AI, because I got good tools too. You could have superimposed the crowds from the No Kings protests, you know what I mean, onto the footage that y'all are running. Because y'all running this after, just put them people in there. Yeah. That's what I would have done. Hey, it's not like you're above it.
Ladies.
As the parade went by, cheering what that young man and young women felt out there will be with them for the rest of their lives. And why is that important? Well, because we also had on display that technology you were talking about, the robot dog, the drones. That's how our future wars will be fought, and it will be those youngsters that will be moved for a lifetime tonight that will be on the front line of that fight tomorrow.
He's right about that. He's right about that. Those people that got dragged down to the Trump parade, that will be with them for a long time. That will be because they will never trust those friends again. They will never trust. No. I'm not doing that with you again. Back in 2025, you dragged me you had me take off work, take some of my vacation days, and you know I got little kids, okay? I can't play with that. They get sick. I got no vacation days because I was down in D.C. with you, rolling around in a field all by myself, watching a military tank cry for its freedom.
And you know, LJ, earlier in the night, if I could just say one more thing, it's that you were talking about there was a message for Iran, for China, for Russia, for our enemies. And then we heard the line that stood out to me from President Trump tonight was when he said, if you threaten American people, our soldiers are coming for you. Your defeat will be certain. Your demise is final because our soldiers never quit.
So that line stuck with you, not him actively threatening the American people with the same soldiers. Repeatedly. Fox News, come on now. Come on now. You would have been, and I would say you would have been better off taking them and putting them behind a green screen or something like that, because ain't no way this event was as popular and wild as y'all saying it was, and it's that quiet the same night. Come on now. Like I said, it's normally wilder than that on a regular weekend. You mean to tell me ain't nobody back there selling Lucy's or puppies or homemade wine or nothing?
So it was not only a major victory in terms of recruitment, a major, much needed patriotic boost for the nation that's become so divided, but also certainly a opportunity for President Trump to put our enemies on notice in such a dangerous time we live in. And for all those naysayers that said this was all about Donald J. Trump, his speech was 8 minutes. I think that maybe is the shortest speech he's given in his lifetime.
He didn't know where he was at. He didn't know where he was at. Not to mention the fact that he gave that speech through the tears of sitting down and see how many people showed up for his birthday. Yeah. I mean, really, how long of a speech would you give if you got no-showed and canceled on by the country? I mean, hey, how long would your speech be? Now, you talked about how people characterize it as being about Trump and not about the army. Well, let's see who y'all made it about, Fox News. And shout out to Decoding Fox News for this.
Ladies and gentlemen, music organizations, the United States Army Band.
Happy birthday, Mr. President.
I have no words to articulate it because it was the honor of a lifetime to be front and center to a commander-in-chief that honored the 250th anniversary presided over by our commander-in-chief.
Emily, it was great being with you tonight.
That was 102. They went to the man who it's not about. It just happens to be his birthday, even though he's throwing the party on his birthday for one branch of the armed services and none of the other ones. Showed him 102 times. Fox News, come on, man. Come on, man. You know what I mean? That was as transparent as the USA chants.
Lady.
In fact, let's play this game. He said that this was a big victory for morale and for the country. Let's see what a big victory y'all think it was for morale and for the country. Let's go to the Fox News YouTube channel. And I'm sitting here scrolling. I see no follow-up from Fox News about the big victory for the country. Not one. Sat there and lied for 4 hours and then just want to act like it didn't even happen. You tell me the outrageous, winning, amazing, indescribable party that you don't talk about after the fact. That's crazy. I mean, well, how do you expect us to believe that? Yeah, I went down there. I got the job. Yeah, they hired me. And they made me supervisor. They gonna double my salary for my last job and made me supervisor. Yeah, that's right, on my first day. Yeah, I start Monday. Hey, it's Monday. How come you not at work? I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. You see what's going on in Iran? You sat there and expected us to believe that this was the celebratory event of the year and y'all don't got nothing to say about it after the fact? That would be almost as crazy as never mentioning these new polling numbers for Trump. Now, you wouldn't do that now, would you? I'm scrolling the page. I'm scrolling. That looks like that's two. They trying to imagine. That looks like that's two. They trying to pretend never happened. You know what, Fox News? Why don't y'all ask MSNBC if you can borrow their information? Ask MSNBC if you can borrow their information. I know y'all, so y'all don't get along the best, but some things are more. Sometimes you got to swallow your pride for the good of the people. You know what I mean? Just you know what I mean? I'm sure they'll give it to you. I got homework from people I don't even know.
So let's turn now to that new polling. It's from Quinnipiac University, and it shows that 38% of voters approve of the way Donald Trump is handling his job as president. That's lower than other recent polling. To underscore, just 38% approve, while 54% disapprove of his performance in the White House. The president is also underwater on some of his top issues, including immigration. On that issue, Trump's approval rating has dropped down to 43%. Trump is also upside down on questions of deportations, on the economy, trade, his handling of the nation's universities, as well as the conflicts in both Gaza and Ukraine. A majority of the voters also had objections to his signature piece of legislation, which, of course, he has deemed the big, beautiful bill. 53% of those polled do not support the legislation. 27% do support it, and another 20% offered no opinion.
The only thing that MSNBC asks for you to use their polling information to actually educate your audience for once, you got to unleash Jessica Tarloff. Yeah, I know. Well, look at it this way. Your regular viewers are so beaten into submission with nonsense. They're not going to recognize good information when they see it. They'll be all right.
So Gavin Newsom is speaking for a majority of Americans. Right before we came on air, there was a new Quinnipiac poll that was released. So Donald Trump, -12 on approval in general, -11 on immigration, and -16 on deportations. He has taken his best issue and decimated it by making these deportations in a hasty way. It used to be go after the criminals. That's what we heard was going to happen. Now it's go to the nail salons, go to the job sites, go to birthday parties, go to immigration courts. There is now no right way to do it. There is no way to be part of the system, pay your taxes, make a better life for your family, and hopefully get citizenship. Stephen Miller is mad because they were deporting less people on a daily basis than Joe Biden was. So he went and he said, go to 7-Eleven and you go to Home Depot. And now Americans and illegals who, yes, they're here illegally, are living in fear of what the government is trying to do. And just one more thing, the GOP caucus, like Valadejo, Gonzalez, representatives, they know that this is bad. Valadejo saying, please prioritize removal of known criminals. Gonzalez, focus on convicted criminals, not farm laborers.
And by the way, that is information you actually might want to pay attention to, seeing as how he's changed his policy based on the deep unpopularity of his approach and made it fool of all of the racist MAGAs. So mass deportation, right? Ain't that what you say? America's for Americans, Stephen Miller? Unless they work on the farm. Yeah. Y'all gonna have to add some just, if you use bigger paper, if you use bigger paper, then you could add unless they work on the farm to the bottom of the mass deportations now. Or hospitality. You should put that on the bottom of there too. That's to be included. So yeah, it is it's looking grim. It's looking grim, Fox News, because you got caught out in 4K. I ain't seen y'all get caught like this since the Brett Baer situation. Yeah, with Kamala Harris. And how many times this needs to happen, and yet you still maintain your audience. I need to understand the mindset of a Fox News viewer. You are the kind of people that will allow them to be caught in perpetrating a fraud in 4K, but still take down the information for the Trump phone. I know y'all gonna order it. Don't act like y'all not gonna order it.
This morning, you've got an announcement on a new phone. Tell me about that and what you're looking to, quote unquote, correct here.
Yeah. Well, you know what, Maria, more and more we're using technology as a company, right, to correct the problems. Obviously, Truth Social was to correct freedom of speech, right? I mean, he lost his throughout the political process. Obviously, crypto, and we've got the biggest projects in crypto, was to correct another problem, which is the fact that they were debanking all conservatives. I was the most canceled person probably in the history of the country. And now we're doing Trump Mobile, and Trump Mobile is going to revolutionize cell phones, mobile calling. We're going to do it better. We're going to do it safer. We're going to have more functionality, more features. And the coolest thing about all these ventures is we're doing it right here in the United States. You're not calling up call centers in Bangladesh. You're not, you're doing it right out of St. Louis, Missouri. And you're going to have phones that are made right here in the United States of America. And it's going to be cheaper, $47 a month. You're going to have more international dialing for free, hundreds of countries, international dialing for free. It is the biggest bang for the buck, and we're really excited to get into the space. I mean, when you take kind of technology, obviously real estate's always been our bread and butter, but when you take the technology world between the social platforms, the actual hard devices, which is really what Trump Mobile is, and then kind of the true retail banking, CFI, DeFi, worlds of cryptocurrency, which is no question where the world is going. I really believe we're going to have one of the great kind of tech platforms as part of the Trump organization of any company in the world, and I couldn't be more proud of Trump Mobile.
Now, if I order the Trump phone, do I immediately have to file for bankruptcy, or does that not happen until I get my first bill? Does the Trump phone complete calls, or does it decide like halfway through, see which way the wind is blowing and decide whether or not it wants to circle back and flip-flop? Would the Trump phone be a good gift for my wife? No, because we already tried to get her to watch, and she wearing the rump. Yeah, she wearing the rump right there on her wrist. So we don't want no rump phone to match the rump watch. I'm tired of people flashing her. Not to mention the fact that Elon Musk told me that the Trump phone not safe around women. That's what he said. I don't care if he deleted it. He put it out there. Now, Fox News. When I ended my coverage of the actual Trump parade, I didn't want him to leave empty-handed. And I feel the same for you. As much as I absolutely pity and in some ways am deeply troubled and triggered by your viewership, I would hate for them to leave with nothing. I would hate for them to spend all this time and energy and to actually get no information out of it. So here is something for your viewers. I am helping you help educate them to what happened. And this is coming from the ground in DC. You're welcome. It's so many victims of Fox News, they made us lose John Stockton. That's how bad it is. Although, I guess if he spent his whole career with Karl Malone, did we ever really have John Stockton? He really was a victim. Hey, what's going on, y'all? Thanks so much for watching the video. Yes, that's right. Your boy is back from vacation, feeling refreshed and ready to go.
Somebody get on this plane or not? Yes, we do. All right. So everyone's going to shut up, and we're going to say this once, and we're only going to say it again because we're frustrated as hell.
And that definitely means you should be on the lookout for some new Way of Waters content. So make sure you check that out and subscribe to my second channel at Way of Waters. But while I was gone, y'all definitely held me down, and I appreciate that. I mentioned before that I premiere all my videos, but did you know it actually gives me a ranking of who's doing the most work in the chat? They done messed around and passed Miss Ray. Shout out to All Things Go. I see Nick Adams, Non-Point in here, Patricia Jackson, Yolanda Gibson, Carney, my man Dank, I know Regina, I'm Just Jay, Roberta, and Alice in Kenzo Land. I see Honey Love, Jamal, Kat, Quentin, Tammy, Katrine, and Muriel rounding out the top 20.
Never could have made it without you. I said close them doors. Ushers, close the doors.
Make sure you be on the lookout for notifications when I schedule my video releases and my premieres so you can rise up that leaderboard. And while we're on the topic of support, I gotta show some love to the Mod Squad. No, not that Mod Squad. I'm talking about our Mod Squad. That is Mariana, Dank, Deshauna, Roberta, Free Me, Larry, Chernobyl, and of course, Miss Ray, who have made this channel a place where so many people feel comfortable being themselves, expressing, sharing, growing, and learning together. And I, for one, am eternally grateful to all of you for your contribution.